Hey guys, and welcome back. This video here will be dedicated to showing you guys how the Holden Nationals went for me. Obviously, if you've got me on socials or Instagram, whatever, you would have seen that didn't have a great run. Had some niggling issues here and there, battling voltage issues and also fuel pump or fuel supply. So we'll dive into that. You can see I've obviously got the alternator off the car in front of me here. I've also got the fuel pump assembly here sitting here as well, and some new fuel pumps. So I'll get into details as to what happened with that, and we can talk about what we've been doing to fix it. Cheers. So as I was saying, much to my regret, didn't get to do a whole lot of videoing at the Holden Nationals with what was going on and how the car was going. Obviously, with the issues I was having, spent more time diagnosing the car and getting the data log sent off to Jeff and talking through the car with him, and he helped us diagnose some issues as well. So one of those issues was the alternator. The alternator just wasn't keeping up, wasn't supplying enough volt. It would start at, I think, 13.7 as soon as I'd hit the trans brake, and gradually through the run got worse and worse, mainly from 6 to 6,500. The voltage just dropping off erratically. So I think the lowest it got to was 12.9, and obviously doing that, the car was hitting an AFR main safety because it couldn't supply the voltage to my 3 fuel pumps. So camera around and we'll talk more about that. So this is the alternator off of the car, genuine GM one. I've had no issues with it. Obviously it's just served with a lot of street driving, summer nights and all that, been no problem. Now out of the factory they have quite a small pulley. I think that's only 50 mil. I've just put an alternator on it now with 80 mil. Obviously being so small and revving the car quite hard, it just can't keep up. So with some help from Jeff, I've actually sourced, I'll grab a torch so you can actually see. This is a 215 amp job. Standard they are 140. So I'm hoping that this, I'm just waiting to get a new belt, that's why the tensioner's not on, but I'm hoping that this one will keep up a lot better. And also, forgot to mention, I've put a bigger pulley on it as well, just to slow it down so it's not spinning so hard. So picked that one up from Billet Racecraft, just up at Murray Bridge. That's all fitted up. So also while we were there, we diagnosed a bit of an issue which I've had for some time. I think the alternator was always wired up with the back of it looped. So the sense wire that's meant to go to the battery, we had it looped. And as Jeff explained, like, you're kind of tricking the alternator into thinking that it's got the 14.5, 14.7 volts when actually it doesn't. So if the battery's getting a little bit flat, it just thinks it's all right. Temporarily, we pulled the alternator off. I ordered a brand new one from Repco in Bendigo on this Friday, or I think it was a Saturday morning. So put a brand new one on it, run a charge line or a sense wire all the way from the alternator under the car straight back to the battery. So now that was sorted. Voltage was still a little bit off though. So I think out of the box, that alternator I got was made in China. Was a bit of a dud. And then we kept chasing our issues. We'd go out, still the same. I ended up getting a genuine alternator again, a third one off of Mark Drew, and that fixed it. That was straight away up to 14.5, 14.7. So before it was charging around 14.2. So since then we've got the car home. I've had the fuel tank out. I've noticed a little bit of shit in the tank, which it might have been picking up. Could be getting in the pumps, I don't know. But we're going over everything. I've had the tank out, I've cleaned it out, degreased it, soap suds, whatever, tank cleaner. And I'll spin the camera around, we'll talk about that too. So this is a Raceworks, I think it's a 76 litre tank. I cut the top of this tank originally, you would have seen in another video, to put my pump hanger set up in it. So I've just got it covered up at the moment as I'm waiting on some check valves between the pumps and the hanger. I'm waiting for that. I'm also going to replace all 3 fuel pumps just for peace sake, because I've heard of this problem before, and for what they are, they're not overly priced for what they are. Raceworks helps out heaps with the fuel issue stuff. So thanks to those guys. If you need any of this stuff, hit them up, they are good. These are obviously the fuel pumps I'm running. They're a 525 Woolbro, so 285 ending in. I've got a spare one there obviously because I've got 3, I'm gonna have 4. So I've got 4 now. And as I said, these are just a -6 orb, and they sit between the pump, well, between the pump hanger and the pump. And I'm going to put a check valve just in here with a push-on speed flow fitting and try that, because these do have check valves, but I feel if they ever fail, we're just doing it anyway. So that'll be that. While we're at Heathcote, I did damage or found a 525 that was dodgy. I put a 460 in it from Luke Foley, but it was still seemed the same. So I don't know if 1, 2 or 3 is playing up. I'm just going to replace them all anyway. Try and get any issues that I can and erase them. I've had the back seat out, gone across all the wiring in the car. Obviously I've run that sense wire now that went under the car, pulled that all off, was million cable ties. Run that all through the firewall, under the carpet, back into the boot, and Dad's been helping out as well. He's done all new earths, new power cables. I've put a brand new battery in it, another battery box, because the other one was shit. Literally going over everything. Fuel filter's been out, checked that, nothing wrong with that. He's put new earths to the fuel pumps, bigger cable. Yeah, just really going over everything. It needs to be 100%. Obviously the car's evolved, and it never obviously was meant to be this fast, and the faster I'm going, the more fuel supply I'm needing. So like as I said to Jeff, I never had problems with voltage before, and I had a one pump on its own, like a one big brushless aeromotive pump. But he said, like you said, he goes, we weren't making this much power before, and with power it becomes more power supply with voltage. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, with that new alternator that it will be a lot better. I'm trying to get the car obviously back together as fast as I can, because I want to go racing with this car very soon, obviously as planned. I've also, if you've got on the socials, you would have seen that I added some more sensors to the car. So I've got front wheel speed sensors now, and drive shaft. The drive shaft one did play up. I think it moved a little bit, but the drive shaft one's working sweet. That wheel wasn't touching the ground till about 1.7 seconds into the run. And yeah, as I said, from the Holden Nats, I just ran into issues throwing me into, or the car hitting AFR safeties. I'll throw up a video and you can see me hitting some safeties from in-car of the GoPro. So as you can see from those few videos there, super frustrating, but just got to keep my cool. Like I said, some meetings are worse than others, and I think the saying goes, a bad day at the track beats a good day at work. So got to get to the bottom of it, sort out the voltage for one, and obviously the fuel pressure drop as well. Just couldn't keep the fuel pressure up. It was meant to be at least 83 pound and it was dropping to 70, 71. It's just not enough. So I don't want to go down that track of leaning it out again and doing a head gasket. So that's definitely something that I want to keep on top of. If I have to. The car really needs to be diagnosed further now, I think, on a dyno with Jeff. So it's hard to check everything once it's under full load with a multimeter and a test light and things like that. So maybe bolting it on a hub dyno might be something that needs to happen in the future. But for now, we're going guns blazing just to try and get it sorted for now, and then get back to the dyno if we have to, get him over whatever it is, I want to sort it out and I want to go fast. So that first pass off the trailer, the car ran a PB, fastest I've ever been. So that was a 5:29 at 135 mile an hour, and it didn't even feel quick to me. Like, I think the car's got a lot more left in it, and that was on a 1:3.160. So after that, the car got faster and faster. It went from a 1:28, I think after that, went actually 1:30, and then a 1:28, 1:26, and then a 1:25. So the car was just getting faster and faster. And the changes obviously are paying off that I've done recently with suspension and also trying to remove some weight here and there. So we'll keep throwing power at it. The car doesn't even spin off the hit at all yet. So credit to the guys at Heathcote and the Holden Nationals for putting on a wicked track. That track was awesome. Just would have been good to get down the whole way. So stay tuned. Hopefully get another video out in the near future of us running this up on the dyno, or at least extracting some power out of it and diagnosing any further issues. Cheers. Alright guys, just out in the shed, it's Monday night and I've just finished putting the fuel pump assembly hanger together. 3 new fuel pumps, 525 Wilbros up onto this Sean's custom alloy hanger. I'm just about ready to put these filter socks on the bottom. I'll attach them and then it's ready to go back in the tank. I must remember to use, that's the O-ring off of the hanger, that'll seal it all off. But I don't know if you can see, I'll spin this around. I've labelled the pumps so that we know if one fails which one it is up top. Now featuring some speed flow check valves. Now these pumps apparently have check valves in them. Put these in there as a precaution anyway, just in case any of them fail. They can no longer allow fuel to come back through and bleed if there's one pump pressurizing the other one, or if a pump fails, whatever. So it was a tight fit, not much room there for error with the rubber, so I measured them out, cut some to piece, and then they just got a push lock fitting Speedflow -6. So I've just put a hose clamp on there, not stupidly tight, but just to stop it, just in case. A lot of fuel pressure running through these. So check valves in now, 3 new pumps. I'll whack this fuel pump hanger back in, and then I'm literally just waiting on a fan belt now to suit that new alternator, and then car's ready to fire up. Bloody get into it. Alright guys, so just back out in the shed, finally finished off doing that alternator change to the 215 amp alternator, and also got the fuel pump assembly back in with all those fuel pumps. So like I said in the previous little clip there, I had run all new grounds here and there, just a little bit thicker as well, trying to go through the car and make sure that it's just 100% and eliminate any issues. So new battery, 3 new fuel pumps, some new grounds, and that bigger alternator with a bigger pulley on it also, just to slow it down. So just giving the car a quick once over, checked everything, and it should be ready to fire up, and check the voltage. So I'll spin the camera around and we can suss, fingers crossed, that we have more volts just by cranking it over and having a look on the dash. So before it was showing 14.2 at Heathcote and going down to at least 13.0, 12.9 during the run. So I'm hoping with this alternator that the amps or the volts will be higher, and then going down the track, once them fuel pumps come on along with the fans and the electric fuel pump, that the volts can remain enough to not hit an AFR safety and lead to probably leaning it out. So let's spin the camera around, fire it up, and see what these volts are like. 14.7, 14.8. I think the most I've ever had was 14.5 recently, so that's heaps better. I'm happy with that. Now that it's running, I'll probably just like to get it up to temperature, especially with the E85. I don't like starting it cold and then flicking it off, letting it sit, so I'll get it up to temp, I'll move it out, and I can leave it outside for a bit. Give it a quick clean and should be good to go. The best part about it is now that the volts are up high, I'm hoping that once the car gets to the track that I can get all those 3 pumps to kick in, go down the track, and if it goes to at least 14.2, then happy days. That's got to be a lot better than 13.0 and 12.9. Just not enough volts to keep those 3 pumps supplying fuel pressure. So hopefully no more voltage safeties or AFR safeties, and we can go racing and actually lay down the times that this car is capable of doing. Let's whip it out the shed. Every good street car, you got to have a handbrake, right? Project for one day. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in and watching once again. If you haven't clicked the subscribe button, please do keep up to date with all the videos that are incoming. I've got something pretty cool to announce that's coming in probably the next video. That'll be happening by then. In the meantime, I've got a bit of editing to do, and yeah, there's things happening behind the scenes that I can't wait to talk about and show you all in the next video. So thanks for watching. We'll see you all on the next one. Cheers.